My name's Vinita, and I am from Houston. I grew up in Sugar Land and went to Austin for school. I've lived in a variety of places like Colorado and California, but Texas always has my heart. So I'm a visual and digital artist, and I work in creative and branding industries. I did not have any schooling in art at all. I was an economics major. I got my MBA. I worked in the tech industry and food industry for a little while. And then I kind of hit this bump in the road where I realized I couldn't work as much as I could in the past. I developed a chronic illness. And so that made me really rethink what I was going to do with my life. I have always had this artistic background. Ever since I was probably 4, I took classes growing up, painting classes, drawing classes, and it's something that I always dreamed of pursuing. And so when I left my last job, my tech job, I started turning to art as a kind of like a happy place almost. I felt calmer when I was painting. I also realized some of my pain got better. And I also took classes in digital illustration and whatnot because I definitely also love just drawing. About 2 years in of doing all this for myself, I started exploring the option of actually doing it as a career. My whole family, they're filled with entrepreneurs and doing their own things, so it's something I've always wanted to do is do something for myself and start a business for myself, and I'm hoping that's what this kind of rolls into. When it comes to painting, I started off more so in watercolor. At the beginning it was super difficult because watercolor is all about being okay to lose control of what you're doing. But then I just kind of, I don't know, one day maybe clicked and I encouraged those mistakes and whatnot. And with acrylic, I think acrylic has the ability of almost when you get close to a painting, you've seen the ridges of the paintbrush, or for a palette knife, it just layers on really well. I love to feature skin tone colors in my work. Because I want to highlight everyone can be represented in the art world. I feel like growing up, I never saw that. And even now, there aren't many women artists showcased in the general art world in museums and whatnot, and especially women of color. And I love that now people are really following their passions, and I really do think women of color are really showing the world that hey, we are here and we have a wide variety of skills. A lot of my art, I wanted to portray what I've experienced and what I feel other women of color have experienced. The core beliefs come down to female empowerment, diversity and inclusivity, and just my personal stories. I go with how I'm feeling when I'm working on something, and I let that take over a bit because I think that's when I create the most authentic work. I just created a collection that is now on sale that is dedicated to my dad. He unfortunately passed away because of COVID. And so each piece in that collection is me processing this trauma into emotions other people can feel, like pain and guilt and understanding to shock and everything. It literally goes through that process. And it took a little while to get to that point because it was so personal. It's one of those things of do I want to put this collection on sale? And then for me, it also is I think COVID has really affected so many people in different ways, and the pandemic has. So the way I try to think about it is, could I potentially help someone feel more connected and not alone? I do think art is very vulnerable, but I try to focus on the fact that I'm creating this so other people can connect. And in this time, connection has been so difficult to find. I'm hoping one day my artwork will be up somewhere where I can be you can check it out there. But for now, it's pretty small. My website, my Instagram are the best ways to really see my work and see how I do it.